What would you do if you woke up tomorrow in the middle of a vast wilderness with no phone, no map, no compass, and no landmarks you recognized? Just trees and sky, wind, and silence in every direction. For most people today, that thought is genuinely terrifying. But for ancient humans, navigating across thousands of kilometers of completely unknown terrain was not a crisis. It was Tuesday, and the navigation system they used was not a device. It was not a tool, it was knowledge, stored entirely inside the human mind. And some of it was so precise that modern scientists studying it have been genuinely amazed. Stay till the end because the final ancient navigation method reveals something so extraordinary about human intelligence that it will completely change how you think about the minds of people who lived before writing ever existed. Let's begin. Imagine standing on an open plain 60,000 years ago. No roads, no paths, no signposts, no satellite above you, just endless land stretching in every direction. Your group needs to reach a water source 3 days away. You have never been there before, but the elder beside you knows exactly which way to walk. And they begin moving without any hesitation at all. So how did they know? The first and most essential navigation tool ancient humans ever used was the sun. Not just watching it rise and set, which anyone can observe, but understanding its precise movement across the sky throughout the entire day and across every season of the year. Ancient humans who paid careful attention over years of observation learned that the sun rises slightly differently every single morning depending on the time of year. They knew which direction was east at dawn, which direction was west at dusk, and they used the arc of the sun across the midday sky to understand north and south with remarkable accuracy. This knowledge was not written down anywhere. It was memorized, taught from elder to child, refined over generations until it became automatic. But the sun disappears at night, and ancient humans did not stop traveling at night, so they needed something else. And what they used was perhaps the most beautiful navigation system ever employed by any species on Earth: the stars. Ancient humans across every part of the world developed deep and intimate knowledge of the night sky. Not just casually looking at stars, but learning the name, position, and seasonal movement of specific stars and star clusters with extraordinary precision. The North Star, visible in the northern hemisphere, does not move. It sits fixed above the North Pole of the Earth, and every other star in the sky rotates around it. Ancient humans who knew which star this was could always find north. From north, every other direction follows immediately. But in the southern hemisphere, where there is no single fixed pole star, ancient people developed even more sophisticated systems, reading the positions of entire star clusters relative to each other. Understanding how the Milky Way positioned itself at different times of night and different times of year. Pacific Island navigators, whose techniques almost certainly descend from far older methods, could determine their latitude simply by watching which stars rose and set on the horizon. This was navigation science of the highest order, built entirely from observation and memory. Now here is where ancient navigation becomes truly remarkable, because stars and the sun only work when the sky is visible. What did ancient humans do when clouds covered everything? They read the land, and this skill was arguably more impressive than reading the sky. Ancient humans learned to navigate by the natural world around them. Trees in the northern hemisphere grow more moss on their north-facing sides, where sunlight is limited. Trees on exposed hillsides lean in the direction of prevailing winds, which blow consistently from specific directions in most regions. River systems flow in predictable directions toward lower ground and eventually toward larger bodies of water. Animal migration paths follow consistent seasonal routes. Bird behavior shifts depending on direction. Even the quality and temperature of soil changes in ways that an experienced traveler can read. Ancient humans built internal maps of these patterns across entire landscapes. Not maps on paper, maps in memory, detailed, layered, multisensory maps that tracked the relationship between landmarks, seasonal changes, animal behavior, water sources, wind patterns, and star positions all at once. This cognitive mapping ability was not less sophisticated than modern GPS. In many ways, it demanded more from the human brain, because it required holding an entire landscape inside your mind and updating it continuously with every new piece of environmental information. And perhaps most powerfully of all, ancient humans passed these navigation systems down through story. Songlines in Aboriginal Australian culture, some of the oldest living traditions on Earth, are essentially navigation instructions encoded inside songs. The lyrics describe specific landmarks, terrain features, and directions in sequence. A person who knew the song knew the route, even across thousands of kilometers of desert they had never physically walked. After watching this video, you now understand something remarkable. Ancient humans did not need technology to navigate. They used the sky, the land, the water, the wind, the animals, and the memory of generations that came before them. They moved across the entire planet using nothing but human intelligence and accumulated knowledge. The next time you feel lost without your phone, remember this. Your ancestors crossed continents and oceans using only their minds. And those minds were just as powerful as yours.